What's going on, everyone? This is your commissioner back at it again for the final week of the season. Um, Hell of a year. I want to start off by saying that. Thank you to everyone. If this is your first time in the league, thanks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is one of your better leagues. I'm sure we're all in multiple, but it's been a great year. Everyone has been competitive. Everyone is still in it except one person, Cam. I'm sorry. Just all year fighting injuries for Cam Bildhauer. So he is officially eliminated, but everyone else is in the race for playoffs and still has an opportunity. So this show, I'm going to break down the playoff, format, just go over everything like that, and get into a little bit of a preview. I am by myself this week. I will get someone though for playoff shows, someone who's eliminated. So, and we can discuss that and go from there. But to start off, high scoring weeks. I want to start off by saying this is how much I owe as of right now to everyone. Jake May has won 3 high scoring weeks totaling $36. The following people have won high scoring week twice: Tom Cada, Joe Batting, Randy, and Mike Batting. Those 4 players have won $24. So I owe those 24. Jake May 336, and then Mike Germ has only won once, and I owe him 12. But he's kind of running away with the ultimate highest scoring year, which gets him $24. So he could get 36 by the end of it if he has a decent week this week. He should get high scoring points for this season. Playoffs wise, though, Paul Shawm, Jake May, Mike Batting, all sitting at 8-4. Randy 7-5, and Tyler 7-5. Those 5 have all clinched playoffs. They are in. Their games this week just determine if seeding for those guys. Mike Germ is sitting at the 6th seed. He is 6-6. He's in the playoffs solely because he's not officially clinched, but if he goes out and loses and is 6-7, there's going to be a few other teams 6-7. But he's so far ahead in points scored that he's pretty much a lock to be in. He's number 1 in the league with 1,608 points scored. The next guy at 5-7 is Tom Cada. He's 100 points down, so I don't see anyone's outscoring Mike by 100 to catch him. So he's going to be in. So the 2 final playoff spots come down to Tom Cada, Joe Batting, Matt Carter, myself, and Nick Scalos. We are all 5-7, and we all have some matchups this week. So let's look at it. Start off with Justin versus LB. That game means a lot for me. Doesn't mean much for LB. Like I said, he's in. He's just trying to get the one seed, or he's playing for the 1 seed. But with a loss and a Randy win and a Tyler win, it'll come down to points for. Tyler's nowhere near it, any one of those guys. So he won't lose to Mikey there. But Mikey could fall as far down as to the 4 seed with a loss. Myself, I need the win. I need a win. I need to put up some points this week to feel safe. Not even feel safe. If I win, it might not be enough. Mike versus Joe Batting doesn't mean much for Mike, but that could jolt him all the way up to possibly the 4 seed with a win. With a loss to Joe, Joe is most likely eliminated from the playoffs. He would be 5-8. I don't see someone being 5-8 and making the playoffs, but it could happen. It definitely could happen. Jake versus Cam, that game means nothing. Jake May's playing for the 1 seed to get the overall top spot. He's playing Cam Bildhauer, who, like I said, is eliminated. Scalos versus Tom. This game means a lot for both of them because they're both 5-7. Scalos needs to get a win, and so does Tom. The winner of that is going to move to 6-7. So we have a matchup here where one team is guaranteed to be 6-7, unless there's a tie, which would be crazy. But Scalos versus Tom, the winner of that game is, I would say, Tom. If Tom wins, he's in because of how many points he has. If Scalos wins, he needs to put up some points to have a shot to get in. But it's still possible. If Scalos win at 6-7, he could definitely get in even without the points. Paul versus Randy doesn't mean anything. That's just for seeding as well. And then Tyler versus Carter. Tyler goes with a Tyler loss. He's 7-6, and that could drop him down to the 6th seed if Mike wins. But Tyler, I think, is locked in at the 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken. I think he can't get any higher unless he wins and gets to 8-5. Then he could move up a little bit. He could move up, but I think he's locked in at the 5 with a loss. If he loses, he's still a 5 seed, I believe. Matt Carter, though, he needs to win. He's in the same boat as Tom, Joe, Carter, or Tom, Joe, me, and Scalos, all in the same boat. Matt needs to win. Matt lost. He's pretty much out. So that's how that looks. So there's a lot of must-win games. There's 2 games that don't mean anything besides seeding. But the other games, they mean something, and it's going to be interesting. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with Mike versus me. I love my matchup this week. Just a little projection. I'm projected 116 to LB's 99. So I like where I'm at. LB this week, he's missing DJ Moore on a bye, John Brown on IR, Jonnu Smith's out, Perriman's on the IR, and Josh Jacobs out. So this is a must-win week for me, and I'm liking where I'm at. Kyler Murray was banged up with a shoulder. As of right now, LB does not have him going in his lineup. Kyler Murray faces a tough Rams D, so LB's rolling with Taysom Hill at his quarterback position. I don't hate it. I like it, but we'll see. I mean, Taysom Hill has the opportunity, man. He can go out and get 20, 30 points. You see what he does running the ball. But Atlanta, they've been getting better, so I need something out of Atlanta this week. But Kenyon Drake and Melvin Gordon are his running backs. 2 tough matchups. Drake versus the Rams. Melvin Gordon versus Kansas City. A.J. Brown versus Cleveland. They've been all right. Jalen Reagor versus Green Bay. Hooper, Golden Tate. Mikey's team doesn't have anyone on Monday or Tuesday night, so I'll know his score Sunday night. On the flip side of things for my team, I got Herbert at New England, or home against New England. We'll see how he does. Rolling with Gio Bernard at Miami, Miles Sanders at Green Bay, Amari Cooper Tuesday night at Baltimore, Boyd at Miami, Ebron Monday night at Washington, Crowder. I don't know if I'm rolling with Crowder or not yet. I might throw in Kiki QT. We'll see there with Will Fuller being out. But I like my chances this week. I think I'm going to get a win. I'm picking myself to win this week to get to 6-7. Is that going to be enough to get playoffs? I don't know. But I do have myself winning to get to 6-7. So as I project the games for this week, I'm going to also write down my record and see at the end of this where I think the playoff picture will look like. So I have me winning to get to 6-7, and that would mean LB would fall to 8-5 for that matchup. So that would be big for me for a win. I think I can win just based off LB's matchups this week. Let's move to chilling with my homies versus Joe batting. Mike versus Joe. This game means a lot. Mike can, with a win, can get to 7-6, maybe shoot up to the 4 seed. And that would be big for him. I wouldn't want to face his team. He's getting Eckler back. Mahomes has been rolling. Benny Snell Jr. is going to get some touches with Connor out. Juju's been all right. McLaurin is a little banged up, I'm seeing, but will probably play. Darren Waller's been good. He does have Curtis Samuel on a bye. So I don't know who he's going to put in there. That'll be interesting. He can roll with, well, Will Fuller's done, but Todd Gurley's questionable. Does he put in Gurley as a flex? But he's also missing a kicker. So this game right now is projected 121-113 favoring Joe. We'll see. I think that's going to be a little bit more closer because Mike's missing 2 guys in his lineup. For Joe, he got Russ versus the Giants. Nick Chubb at Tennessee. Wayne Gallman in there. Tyler Lockett, Michael Thomas, Dallas Goedert, Brandon Cooks. Watch out for him this week. Big week for him. Will Fuller gone, number 1. Probably going to have to throw on Indy. Maybe he has a big week for Joe, and that would be big for him. But on his bench, he has Jonathan Taylor option. Julio Jones is questionable. Philip Lindsay questionable. Damian Harris, Watkins, got a nice bench. Joe needs this win bad. Joe needs a win. Mike doesn't need a win, but would like a win, obviously. But for Joe, I don't know who I like here. This is a tough game. This is going to be close here. Joe has his defense Monday night. Eckler, though, could be big, man. So could Mahomes versus Denver. But Russell Wilson could match that against the Giants, too. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a close game here. I think I'm going to take Mike. I'm going to take Mike here solely based on the dude is currently 6-6, but he has so many points scored throughout this season. I think that's going to continue. I think he's going to put up enough points. You know, he's going to be the highest scoring points for team. I'm going with Mike this week. I think he's more consistent than Joe's team. You just don't know what you're going to get out of Lockett and Gallman and Michael Thomas. I don't know. Goddard, who knows? Brandon Cooks could be huge, but you don't know. So I'm going to take the more consistent Mike, 6-6. Consistent in meaning that he's putting up so many points week after week. So I'm rolling with Mike, meaning Mike will move to 7-6, and Joe will fall to 5-8 in that race. So, like I said, I'm taking Mike just based on Mike's been putting up points all season long. The Tanith Thrillers and the Galladay Inn, not going to spend much time on this because it doesn't mean anything. Cam, he's projected 99 points. His team's been rough all year. Hate to say it. The trade I made with him helped him a little bit. Didn't help me at all with McCaffrey being done. But TJ Hawkinson, Edwards-Helaire, Josh Allen been great. It's just not enough versus Jake May. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Mostert, James Robinson, Allen Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Evan Ingram, Chase Claypool on his bench, Hayden Hurst, Ryan Tannehill, McKinnon, Cole Beasley, Jamal Williams, James Conner out, and he's going to have him for playoffs. Jake May's going to run through this easily. It just, it's all for seeding for Jake. Cam, I'm sorry. I think you're going to fall to 3-10. I think you're going to lose this week. Not spending much time on it. Cam, 3-10. I think Jake, though, gets a nice win here to get to 9-4. Possibly the number 1 seed for Jake May. Make football great again. Nick Scalos versus Mars These Nuts, Tom Cada. This matchup is huge. Can determine who's in, who's out, just based on this game. The winner's most likely in. Let's take a look here. Tom projected 127 to Nick Scalos' 122. Gonna be close. Tom has the opportunity to put up points. He has Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Kareem Inme Hunt, Devontae Adams, Devontae Parker, Robert Tonyan, Naheem Hines on his bench, David Johnson, Deontay Johnson, T. Higgins, and even Gus Edwards. I mean, he's been good. His team's solid. I would not want to face Tom's team in the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. So, people in the playoffs, you're locked in. I think you're rooting for Nick Scalos in this matchup, so Tom is eliminated. But for Nick, he got Lamar Jackson most likely making his return Tuesday night against Dallas. So this game Tuesday could mean a lot because, Scalos' team is full of Ravens. Aaron Jones against Philly could be a good one. Latavius Murray last week, almost 30 points to Kamara's 6. So wonder if he can get more and more touches. Metcalf versus the Giants. CeeDee Lamb Tuesday night at Baltimore. Rudolph as tight end. Cooper Kupp. That'll be a good game in Arizona. But on his bench, Marquise Brown, Ronald Jones on a bye, Jared Cook, Mark Andrews is out. I'm not sure if he's playing or not, and Marvin Jones Jr. This is going to be a hell of a matchup here, man. I mean, it's within 5 points. Aaron Rodgers has been awesome, minimum of like 30 points every week. But Lamar, he's due, man. Is this week off from COVID? Week or two he had off. Is it maybe rejuicing him? Maybe, getting his mind right? Maybe he can get in. And maybe he can get back in there and just fuck it up. Maybe drop a Lamar 40 like last week. But for Chiefs team, it's simple. You need 25 or more from Lamar. You need 20 plus from Aaron Jones. And you need 20-something from DK Metcalf to have an opportunity. Because everyone else is a big question mark. For Jake, or for Tom, 20 out of Rodgers Okay, fine. But you might get 30 out of Henry, 15 out of Hunt, 30 out of Adams, 15, 20 out of Parker. Nyheim Hines, he just catches the ball. He could get 15. For this matchup, I think Tom, his team is just too talented to not be in playoffs. I think he gets it done this week. I got Tom moving to 6-7 and Skalos falling to 5-8, putting him out of the playoffs. Let's move on to the next game here. Just need Young Ho, Paul Shawn versus Randy Sadowski. I'm not going to focus on this game much, mostly because it doesn't mean anything except seeding both teams. Paul 8-4, Randy 7-5. Paul rolling with Mitchell Trubisky this week. God knows why. Dalvin Cook, Myles Gaskin as his running backs for Paul. Hopkins, Diggs, been awesome. Zach Ertz, Paul loves him. I don't, just because of the quarterback. Michael Pittman Jr. at Houston. I'd probably roll with Gibson just because the Steelers have been prone to give up some running back touchdowns, being able to move the ball on them a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it don't really matter for Paul. I know he might be afraid to get the 1 seed solely based on if Tom Cada could win, Tom could be the 8 seed. And I don't think if you're the 1 seed, you don't want to play Tom Cada. So maybe that's a little strategy by Paul. Maybe he's sitting someone else who might have a higher boom where Gaskin might be the solid play, but maybe he's looking for a little bit extra more, but is willing to take that risk. Just looking at this, Randy, Baker, Kamara, Chris Carson, Jefferson. Randy could have a sneaky team come playoff time as well, so we'll see there. I'm going to take Paul here to win. I'm doing the fantasy show. I got Paul here to win. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Cook versus Jacksonville. I think I'm taking Paul. Paul moves to 8-4 or 9-4. I'm sorry. Paul 9-4, meaning Randy falls to 7-6. In that matchup. Not spending much time on that, but I think Paul wins. Now, this matchup here means a lot too. Tyler versus Matt. Matt 5-7. Tyler 7-5. Tyler's in, but he's playing for seeding. Matt's not in and needs a win. Kirk Cousins at Jacksonville. Zeke at Baltimore. Montgomery, Thielen, Allen, Henry. Swift is doubtful. He has him in there. If he moves him out, you got to go with Singletary. Or he picked up Josh Gordon. Does he give Josh Gordon a risk? But for Tyler, Deshaun Watson, Indy, James White at the Chargers, Devontae Booker will get some playing time with Josh Jacobs out. Calvin Ridley, New Orleans, Mike Williams, New England. Kelsey. Judy's questionable, probably will play. They're going to need to pass on him. But Tyler has Fournette on a bye, Robbie Anderson on a bye. So Tyler got some guys on a bye. This game will be close. Projected 117 to 118. Matt has the edge by a point. Here's the deal. Tyler, I don't know how he's 7-5. He's second to last. Yeah, let me look. Yeah, second to last in points for this year. Only behind Cam, who's 3-9. But Tyler's sitting at 7-5. He's in playoffs. I don't know. I think his team continues to put up enough points week in and week out to win. It's not always a lot of points, but it's enough to beat his team. Matt has been the total opposite. Just not consistent. Some weeks he'll put up 130, 140, but then some weeks he's not even getting to 100. It could be one of them weeks again, either or for one of them. One of these teams could put up 80 points. One could put up 130. You just don't know what you're getting with these teams. It's hard to guess. For me, I think Matt edges out narrowly, barely. I think Matt gets a win. I don't think he gets 118 points, though. I think the winner of this game is going to be around 100 or less, and I think that'll be enough. So I'm rolling with, I think Matt gets it done. I think Zeke gets a little bit going. I think Montgomery against Detroit gets it going. Thielen versus Jacksonville. Matt's comboing with Kirk Cousins, Keenan Allen. Get it going. Hunter, Henry, Singletary. I don't know. Mike Evans on a bye, though, too. I'm taking Matt Carter to win. Matt gets to 6-7. So Carter gets to 6-7. And Tyler falls to 7-6. So let me just do that real quick. Looking here. So that would mean Paul I'm based on, who will put up points as well. So I think that means Jake May will be the 1, Paul the 2, LB the 3. 4 seed then would be between Mike, Tyler, and Randy, and Mike would have enough points. Then that means Randy, Tyler at 7 and 6. Then you're looking at the 6 and 7 teams here. Tom Cada has a lot of points, 4, so I think he's in. And I think the final 8th seed will come down to me and Carter. Carter's currently up less than 20 points on me. He's up 18 points on me. So can I outscore Matt by 18 points this week? That'll be tough, but I'm going to say I do. So that means playoff-wise will be Jake versus myself. Let me just make sure here. Jake versus Justin. Paul versus Tom in the 2-7. 3 versus 6 would be LB versus Tyler. 4 seed Mike versus 5 seed Randy. So we will see. We'll see if I'm right there. So that's my projection this week. I got myself winning. I got Paul winning, Jake May winning, myself winning, Matt winning, Tom winning, and Germ winning. Meaning that out of the playoffs would be Cam, Scalos, Carter, and Joe. So my playoff projection is the 1 seed Jake May versus 8 seed Justin, 2 seed Paul versus the 7 seed Tom, 3 seed LB versus 6 seed Tyler, and 4 seed Mike versus the 5 Randy. See how it happens? Just made this video quick, so we'll see. Hopefully it turned out well. Hopefully you like it. Any questions, let me know. But it should be interesting. There's a lot that can happen. A lot of people can still get in. A lot of people can get out. Randy and Tyler could be 4-5, drops down to 5-6. Mike at the 6 seed right now could hop up to the 4 seed. So, there's a lot of movement that could go around still. So, it's curious to see. You got to put up points this week. Mine and Matt's game could be very important. Either if we both win, but who can put up a little bit more points. I'm trailing him right now, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Thanks, everyone. Let me know if you want on for the playoff show. Anyone, welcome. We'll get you on. We'll do some fun for the playoff guessing game and bracket and whatever. But good luck. Thanks. And that's it.